Okay, it's another video version of the TMA. Nighttime edition. Ooh, spooky. I guess we're going to the Super Bowl, right? Woohoo! Well, as Ray Didinger would say, well, he would paraphrase it now. You're 4-6. Yes, it was a very, very good win. And I'll get into a little more details in a little bit, but what is it about games in the Meadowlands? It's amazing. It's just amazing. It doesn't seem to happen nearly as much as games in Philly, but games in the Meadowlands against the Giants just seem to always be close, always come down to a handful of key plays throughout the game that decides the outcome. It's just amazing. Let's start with Vince Young. You know what? He did enough to win. It's kind of a Tebow-esque game for Vince, if you think about it. Made some bad throws. Had some really ugly interceptions. Stuff he had no business throwing. But on that last drive, you got to give the man credit. I think it was he converted 6 third downs, or they converted 6 third downs, but he was, managing the game and controlling the game. And that last drive, like I said, 6 third downs, and you got to give the guy credit. You really do. I mean, I sure as hell didn't expect them to throw the ball when it was 3rd and goal, and they ended up completing the pass to Riley Cooper for the ultimate winning touchdown. I turned to MQ, who by the way, before I forget, and forgive me MQ for not bringing this up sooner, he correctly predicted the Eagles would win before the game. So the man is not only the greatest financial mind since James Cash Penny, he's a hell of a football prognosticator, too. He did predict the Eagles would shock the world, as he said. Although he was being a little sarcastic there, not exactly shocking the world, but he did predict the win. So hats off to MQ for that. The defense. I don't think the term much maligned can be overstated when you're talking about the Eagles defense this season. Although I did kind of find it humorous that Chris Collinsworth, early in the game, before any kind of pattern had been established, made the remark that the Eagles defense has gotten better as the season went on, or grown into this scheme, or I don't know what the hell he said. But it was basically just complete crap spoken from a national perspective. Now, had he said it at the end of the game, it would have held a lot more validity to it. But look, the Eagles defense is extremely maligned, as is Juan Castillo. And let's face it, when that play right before Jason Babin strips Eli Manning to secure the win, essentially, we're all going, here we go again. When the Eagles blitz, Victor Cruz gets open again and takes it deep into Eagles territory. And you know Eli Manning has a penchant for bringing his team back in the fourth quarter. And I happen to think Eli's a better quarterback than most people give him credit for. But for whatever reason, when he plays the Eagles in the Meadowlands, again, I don't know what it is about these games, but obviously Eli had a couple, at least 3 drop passes that I can think of. 2 by the tight end Ballard, I think his name was, who didn't exactly endear himself to Tom Coughlin and the Giants fans with his play. But the Giants couldn't get any running game going, and you got to give the Eagles credit for that. And I know the Giants were without Ahmad Bradshaw, but you still have to give the Eagles defensive line credit, especially Mike Patterson and Cullen Jenkins those two guys really, really stepped up their game. And Brian Roll, the rookie linebacker, had a great game. Those guys had a great game. If you noticed, up until that last play by Jason Babin, the duo of Darryl Tapp and Jukway Parker were outplaying Trent Cole and Jason Babin. There was no question about it. They were absolutely outplaying those two guys. And Babin kind of redeemed himself with that strip, which, like I mentioned, put the game away. But it was a good win. And look, obviously there's a lot of things to fix. And it's only one game, but let's revel in it, I guess, for now. And they live, they're still on life support, but you know what? They didn't flatline yet. Deshaun Jackson, we've seen it year in, year out, where he can make a spectacular play. And I mean spectacular play. And the punt return, which was almost again, and he's going to get ribbed by his teammates for allowing the punter to tackle him or force him out of bounds. You can't do that. Great play. Why the Giants would ever punt anywhere near him is beyond me. And you notice they didn't do it the rest of the game. But the action Jackson did after that long 50-yard bomb that Vince Young threw to him from basically his own end zone, and he ultimately got called for taunting. It's just, you can't do that. You cannot do that. I mean, especially when you're on the opposing. That was nice of that jackass that just cut me off. Yeah, rev your engine, tough guy. That's pretty cool. I like that. Jackass. Anyway, you can't, on the opposing team's sideline, and you flip the ball to the defensive coordinator. Come on. Come on. That kind of stuff, you know what? His rookie year, okay. His second year, okay. No, come on, man. Come on, man, as Chris Carter would say from ESPN. Come on, man. You can't do that. But there were those handful of plays again that ultimately decided the game. And obviously the Babin one is the one most glaring one because it was the last one. And a lot of them were made on that last drive, which I think was 18 plays. 18 plays with Vince Young as your quarterback. No Jeremy Maclin. LaShawn McCoy really held in check up until that last run, which, was okay. It was a great run, but by that time the Giants defense was spent. So, you know what? All in all, a great win. Another wild Meadowlands win. I obviously don't have nearly as much to rant about as I did last week. Jamar Chaney, there's a guy I can rant on. Had a horrible game. Horrible game. Missed tackles, out of position. Horrible, horrible game for Jamar Chaney. But I don't want to pick on him because he's had a really good year for the most part. So I can't get on him too much. But he had a bad game. Nnamdi, Nnamdi's, anytime they do anything other than man-to-man, he gets into trouble. And it happened again on the Giants touchdown when they kind of ran a pick, the Giants receivers, and Nnamdi ended up with a different receiver, and he got completely turned around and lost. And that's a pattern, and that's a problem. So, you know what? I guess that's one of those that is what it is, but they don't feel the need. The Eagles don't feel the need to put him on, man-to-man and leave him on man-to-man regardless of where his man goes. Okay, so be it. Jason Peters, dude, that guy's a stud, man. He is. You can book him for Hawaii right now. Are they playing the Pro Bowl in Hawaii? I think so. That was just that one year, right? They did that Miami crap. Wherever the Pro Bowl is, Jason Peters is going to be there. Book it right now. No question about it. After, some shaky games, when he first came here, he has really, really proven to be an absolute monster at left tackle. Run, pass, whatever you ask him to do. I know OC's not the same player he used to be, but he was essentially invisible the whole game. And that was due to Jason Peters. So that was a great job by Jason Peters. Next week, we got the Brady Bunch coming in. And, look, that's obviously going to be a challenge to the defense again, especially the secondary. But you would think the Eagles' offense would be able to move the ball in the Patriots' defense as well. So, last week I kind of went off, rightly so, and said I'm done, and Andy had sucked the life out of everybody. And I was done, but that was last week. And that's the life, and that's what it means to be an Eagles fan. You were on the ride. And the ride was low last week, and the ride's been low for the most part. Save for, say, the Dallas game. Well, the roller coaster's back up again. I don't know how long it's going to last, because pretty much at this point, one more loss, and the season's over. But incredibly enough, the Eagles are 3-1 in the NFC East. And what that means is if they can somehow stay in this race, they will own every tiebreaker against their NFC East opponents. And it's just amazing. So, if you got to have 4 wins against 6 losses, I guess it's good to have 3 of them against your own division rather than not. Well, that's all I got. I'm almost home from MQ's. It's late. I want to wish everybody a happy and safe Thanksgiving. I was going to say don't eat a lot, but it's a perfect time to eat. It's Thanksgiving. And I will see you next week following the Patriots game on another version of the Video TMA. I'm out.